Hello and welcome to Karma's a Stitch. I'm Tonya and we are back in the second week of October. So for those of you doing the Stephen West MKAL, we are working on Clue 2 this week. I do have 3 projects I'm going to talk to you about this week. But before we get started, I want to remind everybody we are going to be doing our whip roundup in November. Some people have talked about wanting to do that with me, which sounds super exciting. I am so excited to hear how many whips folks have and what they have and how many they've had on there for a while and if they want to frog some. It's just a really great process that I've been going through the last couple of years to decide which projects I want to keep and which ones I want to get rid of to start the new year with. And also we have our Advent listed up on our Ko-fi page. So if you're interested in that this year, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt theme. So each day you'll open it up and you'll get your mini skein in addition to a little QR code that'll take you to a video, which will have that day's activity. And if you get a picture of yourself with that activity and you get it posted and me tagged on Instagram at the end of the month, I'm going to do a drawing for next year's Advent for free. So what a great opportunity. And I'm so excited to see everybody in this community participating. So I have, like I said, I have 3 projects this week. The third one that I'll talk about will be my Stephen West MKAL, and I'm going to save that for last because I don't want to necessarily have any spoilers for anybody. So I'm getting all the everything else covered and talked about, spoken about before the Stephen West MKAL, so that when I start talking about that, if you're not interested in seeing any spoilers, then you can turn off the video. I'm sorry if my voice is a little nasally this week. Alex and I were both in the emergency room on Wednesday night, and they did a COVID and a flu, a COVID and a flu test, and one of them came back positive. So I am feeling miserable. I have been feeling yucky, and I have a raging ear infection, so I'm on antibiotics for that as well. And Alex is just going in and out of a hot, steamy bathtub because she's a bit congested as well. So if I sound nasally, I'm so sorry, but there's no getting around it this week. So the first project I'm going to talk about is the wheat scarf. And if you watched last week's episode, I showed you, Alex, would you toss me that scarf that's up there? This one? No, that one that's right there. Yeah. So last week I shared this one here and I was really not too concerned. There it is. She did so good. This here was the wheat scarf that I had finished. It was an FO last week. And it was Apple Studio Fiber yarn. And when I was looking, when I was trying to decide colors because they had been here for a trunk show, I couldn't decide between these two because it is a main fingering, or what they called sport, I think, with a lace weight. And I just thought this was so great. But whenever I finished it, I wasn't too sure that it was going to be long enough for me to double around my neck. Like, it just isn't very long. So I had thought a lot about, okay, I did cast 2 of them on. Now, the second colors that I had chosen, just pull out the tags here. Crispin, and it is a sport weight. I'm having a time of it, you guys. Holy cow. So Crispin is a sport weight here. And it is 100 grams, 274 yards, 100% superwash merino. I mean, it's gray for sure, tonal. And then the mohair color that I got for it is called Fuchsia Basket. Oh, it's like electric. Look at that. So I'm holding this fuchsia with this crispin, and I took this one to the emergency room with me, so I've got all these cough drops in my project bag. Take those out. So this is how my scarf is looking. I love it. I love it so very much. But again, I don't think it's going to be long enough. So I'm trying to look, I'm trying to decide if I want to, like when I get to the end of the length that I have for material, when I've used up all of the material that I have, and these are done on an 8 or a 9. It's a good size needle. Anyway, when I've used up all the crispin, do I want to get a totally different color and add onto it and make it double that length, so then I can twist it around and it'll be split down the middle, so they'll have two very contrasty colors. I do have a project that I think it's fingering in a mohair. I'll have to take a look. That I may frog. I don't know that I'll use it. I don't know that I love the shape of it. It was a group activity. And I may just frog that one, and I'll put it into the sweet scarf. The sweet scarf is by Tin Can Knits. And let's see if it tells me. Yeah, it is on a US 8. So I may have a project that I frog so that I can get some extra length out of this. We'll see. But this project is one that I worked on this week when I had to go sit for hours at the emergency room. So I'm going to take my progress keeper and I'm going to move it up to the top so that the next time this comes out, you guys will see how much progress had been made on it since the last time you saw it. But isn't that so pretty? That fuchsia basket really just does bring that color to life, doesn't it? Oh, so there's that one. Now this other project that I have that I worked on this week was my church knitting. We did not go to church this week. Hey Alex, here you go. We did not go to church today. Today is Sunday. But last Sunday I picked up this project to take to church and I was like, oh, this is perfect church knitting. And this project is called the Simple Chevron Stripe Scarf by Karen Martinez. It's done on a US 4. You could easily do this in a DK weight if you wanted a little quicker, instant gratification, quicker knit. Obviously you'd want to modify the size needle that you were using, but there's nothing. It says it's 6 feet long and 6 inches wide for the finished object. Now, the material that I decided to use was one of my own. I dyed a self-striping ball. And let me tell you, when you go and purchase self-striping yarn, that is quite a process. Holy smokes. This is not something I will do on the regular basis, but it was so much fun. So this is the yarn that I'm using. It's Karma's a Stitch wool. And here is my progress. Have a seat. It might take a minute to scroll all the way to the bottom. But look at how great that looks. I'm loving it. I absolutely am loving the look of this. I'm having so much fun. The pattern is so easy to memorize, which I've always, for some reason, I've always struggled with memorizing a chevron pattern when I'm working on it. However, I did put these stitch markers up, which I've never done. So for each section, it's been easier for me to remember that. Because anyway, I've just struggled. I've struggled with chevrons forever. So here is my chevron scarf. The Simple Chevron Stripe Scarf by Karen Martinez. Alex, what do you think?
I love you.
She loves it. She said
I said I love you.
She said she loves me, but I'm sure she loves the scarf too.
I love you more than the scarf.
Good call. So I'm enjoying that, and it's just a great project to do in church. I should put a progress keeper on here. Oh, do I have one handy? I'm sure I do. I have a little basket here of all the little things. Okay, so we got a progress keeper on there. So the next time I show this, you guys will know how far we've gone since the last time it was seen. Okay, so if you are not interested in seeing any of the Stephen West spoilers, I am going to show Clue 1 and possibly a portion of Clue 2. I'm not fully confident, but I want to warn you away from anything if you don't want to see it. So I did share last week that I was using Jada Woo wool for my Stephen West Mystery MKAL. And the clue came out, and I don't believe I showed you guys any progress of that. And then on Saturday nights, I've reserved a space and hosting a get-together for Stephen West MKAL knitters. And, oh, it was so fun. And I had folks send me a picture of their progress of Clue 1 Wednesday, before Clue 2 got released. And so I am going to share some of those at the end of this episode. And so those different color ones that you see at the end will be from that knitting group. Now, here it comes. So if you truly, you guys, if you don't want to see spoilers, I don't want to be responsible for showing you something you don't want to see. So please turn off now. I won't share anything else that's not Stephen West related past this point, other than the scripture at the end of the video, which I do every week. Okay, so here is my Clue 1. Oh, maybe. So this is what he's calling a scallop, right? So we start here, and this right here is like a make 9. You get 9 stitches out of 1. And it just is so, I just love that. These are welts. So if you look at my colors, I've got the teal. Sorry, I'm really having a time showing this. Okay, so this is what he's calling a scallop. Right here, okay? And when we start here, my color A is this teal. My color B is this variegated color. It's got dark brown, light brown, like a vanilla color, some teal. And then color 3 is this light brown in here. And color 4 is this dark brown here. So those are my 4 colors that I've chosen to use out of my Jada Woo set that I had. And I did, here you had an option to do brioche or garter. And honestly, I had so much fun doing the brioche. I have truly found I enjoy doing brioche, but the garter rows go like this, which I felt just flowed with the rest of this so beautifully that there was no going wrong with it. Like that was such, but I did go with the brioche option because I do these because I like the challenge, and that's what I did. So you do 1, 2, 3 scallops, and then over here on 4, I ended up having to take it out and start anew because I had actually used the dark brown in the brioche instead of the light brown, and I just wasn't willing to swap them out. So this was scallop 4, 5, and then scallop 6. And as you can see, something different going on up here, not one of my main 4 colors. So that is my clue 1. Now, clue 2 are some squiggly lines. Clue 2 has been so fun to knit. I've had a hard time because I've been sick. I've had a hard time focusing on the knitting, and Alex has been sick, and she and I both have just wanted to cuddle. So
You mean
relax, and so we've just really enjoyed that. So clue 2 has been flying by whenever I'm able to sit down and do it. But as I did clue 2, so if you don't want a spoiler, here comes clue 2. You have these wave lines, right? But as I'm looking at mine, this variegated color has this light brown in it. See this light brown? And the variegated has this light brown. And these light brown eyelets were meant to kind of stand out and be a nice, for me, I wanted them to kind of stand out and be a pop of color. So I found this mohair that I had, and I'm like, you know, I'll bet that would look just fine. It would brighten it up a little bit. We have to do 9 of these squiggly lines, and there are short rows in there. See how they're wider on this side and they gradually get smaller down here. So I did decide to trade out my color B for this, this magenta is what it's called, this magenta mohair. And I'm really excited about that. So I have to do 9 of these squiggles. I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on my 6th one. So yeah, this is my MKAL so far. Now, I will post some pictures here of the other amazing knitters in our group and their progress. And I didn't get to go to the meetup last night because what I have is contagious, and that's just not responsible friendship. When I know that I've got something that's contagious, I know I'm still contagious, and I just shouldn't be around people I care about. So I did not go to last night's meetup, and I was just so disappointed. And that's okay, but I just couldn't bring myself to go sit with people. Number one, I wasn't even feeling up to going out of the house, which I haven't done. I got home Wednesday night and I didn't leave again. So I didn't get to go to the meetup last night, but I will show some pictures of some of the other folks' progress. So that's it for now. I hope everybody's doing amazing. And if you're doing the MKAL, let me know how you're doing on it. Are you changing out colors? Are you adding the mohair dare? Are you feeling challenged? Do you have enough time to get the clues done? How are you feeling about it? Until next week, I hope everybody's doing great. Bye.